the data centers are constructed, it's sliding away. Where the pup's going, where are the use cases? Over the call at next 2, 3, 4 quarters, that is exactly what the key will be. For software I find this to be rather positive. Data centers get expanded out since they center on software-driven use cases. President Trump revealed yesterday a comprehensive artificial intelligence infrastructure proposal, though it might be up to $500 billion over the following 4 years. Some of the most powerful technological leaders in the world agreeing to invest an initial $100 billion. The initiative is known as Stargate, as you also heard. Here Kate Rooney, as you also heard. Here Kate Rooney is ready to assist OpenAI, one of its key collaborators, spell down what it entails. Steve Kovach is likewise looking at Microsoft. It is on launching the Stargate, as launching a new digital world that might be, or historically has been. And Steve, let me begin with you. We spent a big portion of our 9 o'clock hour at the top of the hour debating the ramifications for Microsoft of what seems to be a sort of declining connection between Oracle and OpenAI, and the exploration, so to speak over time, of the exclusiveness of financing by Microsoft. What then do we know and what do we suppose here? Indeed, David, this is our current observation. Microsoft sort of losing the hold it used over OpenAI. It was the only cloud provider. OpenAI, the hottest startup on earth, used until yesterday, and today it has what they refer to as the right of first refusal instead of being the sole provider. OpenAI claims they will approach Microsoft stating, "We need this cloud capacity for X, Y, and Z, what we want to do." And Microsoft can declare today, "We are not able to help you. You people ought to head somewhere else." Though this also opens the door for those other hyperscaler businesses we discuss so frequently, Google and Amazon, even smaller players like HPE and Dell, they can all join in on the game clearly right now. And that's also the essence of the Stargate project. OpenAI is investing in cloud capacity, using funds of its own. And you probably recall David, Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, who said multiple times during the past year that they really lack the cloud capacity to meet the massive demand artificial intelligence is generating. That's not only OpenAI. Additional open-source models abound running on Azure cloud servers, including Meta's models and many more. Microsoft announced they are going to invest $80 billion, fiscal year ending at this summer, solely to build out artificial intelligence infrastructure, half of which will be occurring here. And thus all that money is essentially, going towards Nvidia. For Nvidia as well as all these other businesses. This is fantastic, but Microsoft is losing that cloud-based exclusive quality right now. Having this cloud agreement with OpenAI brings in plenty of money. OpenAI's activities on Azure cloud servers translate into more money, both businesses end up making. They are somewhat ceding some of that potential income development to other cloud providers, solely because they lack the capacity to achieve it. Second, he has a specifically reported targeting that is undertaken to move up in user groups. Indeed, Kate, from the OpenAI perspective, do we have a sense? You know, there have been, and I'm sure you've heard it discussed in the marketplace, about a degradation in the relationship in some form, but do you have any concept as to what the conversation was? Was OpenAI saying, "Hey, we need more you can't give us"? Or I wonder, you tell me. That is indeed what I have heard from reliable sources. No, David is a little of the lead-up for this. It's that capacity Steve discussed, the demand, and you're seeing that spill over to Oracle. One fascinating thing I'm learning from sources out here is the relationship between Larry Ellison and OpenAI CEO, Sam Altman, that has so gotten closer since their first June alliance was formed. Given the necessary large expenditures associated with artificial intelligence infrastructure, the two of them seem to be rather aligned. It's rather fascinating to learn that personal relationship has developed rather tight. Another personal relationship I'm hearing about is Masanan. SoftBank is a major component of this as well. Masanan computers are mainly interacted at CNM Horizon, and Patrick Benchman is a partner at SNW. David, you know well, CEO Sam Altman and Masayoshi-san are not incremental thinkers either. For this degree of infrastructure, both of them have been really hammering the table. They need this stratospheric degree of expenditure. Another thing I am hearing is that indeed, the private sector would have driven this. Had this news not taken place at the White House yesterday, these businesses would still have been underdeveloped. Billions in, but this is a way to underwrite this kind of investment, to say, you have the confidence of the U.S. of Donald Trump, and symbolically this was a huge deal for OpenAI. And considering the hostility, the conflict between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, which has been so public, is something else. Of course, Sam Altman got his moment yesterday, and Musk, a major Trump advisor, also got his turn, rising on the podium with Massa Larry Ellison and President Trump's blessing. It was sort of his debutante moment. It's so far been announced by Exos that the launch of Sam's debutante moment. Open question. What part OpenAI will play under this new government? Will these kinds of transactions help them to be iced out? We have evidence from yesterday. That is not the situation. Sam Altman, President Trump referred to him as the top AI specialist. That was therefore simply a significant event for him. For an artificial intelligence infrastructure build-out labeled Stargate, some of the most well-known names in big tech, including Oracle, OpenAI and Nvidia, are banding together. We are joined on set by our tech expert Dan Howley. More on what the venture implies for these businesses and their rivals. Dan, discuss with me not just what Stargate is exactly, but also how it helps some of these major technological companies, and maybe damages some of their rivals. Indeed. Stargate is a massive endeavor including Oracle, OpenAI, SoftBank, the three major key businesses here for the data center building initiative. They are beginning their journey across the nation from Texas. They would thus be data centers specifically for running artificial intelligence algorithms. You know, you picture that we have additional data centers from companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Who excels in hardware? For Nvidia, Microsoft gains since OpenAI operates on Microsoft tools. Using Oracle's cloud and data center infrastructure will clearly help them greatly. Then ARM, merely because ARM is very everywhere, it is 17%. Sure, it is enormous. For every one of these businesses, this will be quite important. Although it will take time, once it is completed, you can see businesses leasing the capacity to run their artificial intelligence systems here, and train their staff here as well. It will be therefore quite significant. Always lead and center. Here for Nvidia, you came across several large deals. Tell us more about that. It is up almost 5% today. Definitely yes, and you understand, certainly this Stargate AI scenario here seems to be the catalyst you described. And here there was quite significant Nvidia trading. And when we approach these transactions, you know, we're kind of viewing them as though they were opening here. One cannot tell if they are closing or initiating trades, but we'll approach them that way only to help one understand the scope and breadth of everything. It's sort of two independent trades spread across several expiration months. Thus the first one, plus 21000, March 21st, 170 debit. End quote. And then here at a 220 debit the same quantity, at the same expiration month for the 185 calls. This is so. If they were starting transactions, the net debit there about equals 16.59 million or so. Max profit would seem to be infinite. Looking at our second trade here today, the break-even would be roughly 17290. About 17.8% to the upside. Though the volumes are less, the trade is somewhat similar in terms of price paid. Currently plus 15148, June 20th. 165 calls at a 1,215 debit. Thereafter, the same increment, same expiration of the 185 calls at a 725 debit. Net debit here would therefore be roughly $29,380,000. With these entire beginning trades, total would be practically $46 million of debit.